good to see you again. Today we're back with my Paint with Diamonds picture, and I have not shown you yet how much of it I have done. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I want to show you now. Right now I have on this, there's a little thing on the back here. It's like a little backlight that I can turn on and off, and you can adjust the light levels, and it really helps you see the little squares to do the Paint with Diamonds. And I'm going to turn it off and show you how much I've done since we last looked at it. So just reach up here, and I'm going to turn it off for a second, and then the light is going to adjust. Each one of these little glistening pieces was placed individually, one at a time, and you see we have all these different colors. Nice little gradation there in the starfish. You can see the pretty seashells back here. I've been working on this a lot. Obviously, it does take a while. It's not difficult, but I'm going to turn this back on now. But it is time consuming. It's really nice though if you like things like cross stitch or puzzles or anything like that. You might find this relaxing. And I've put in a lot of time on this weekend because I had a very important decision to make. And I find that sometimes I do better at making decisions if I'm working on something else that doesn't require a lot of detailed attention. Like I might mow the yard, which I did that too. I mowed the yard, did some yard work, and worked on this. So I'm trying to make the decision, and I finally did this afternoon. But we're going to work on this section right here. Basically all I have left, except for there are a few little missing diamonds up here that I overlooked when I was doing that certain shade of blue. And I just need to go back and fill them in. Sorry, you can see the little spots here that don't look quite like the rest of it. That very corner right there. So I have to go back and fill those in. But right now, I mainly want to focus on this part down here. Now, a lot of these are empty. One problem I have run into is that the number 5 symbol, that color, I ran out of diamonds. I don't have enough, and I still have a lot of those spots, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. I may just have to see what diamonds I have left, and if I have some that are a similar color, I may just have to go with those. Okay, so I'm going to look at the symbols here and see what we could do. I think we're going to go with the pound sign symbol, and then you have a little key over here, and you just look and see which one that is, and each one has a corresponding 3 or 4 digit number, and the pound sign would be 9950. So I'm going to get my little tray. This is the little tray that you put your diamonds on, and here's your little applicator. Now let me turn this off so you can see what I'm showing you here. Sorry, this is the little applicator. Has a little end here that you stick down in a cake of wax. So you have a little plug of wax in there that makes it a little bit sticky and allows the diamonds in here to stick to the end of your applicator, so you can stick them on here. Okay, so while I have that light off, let me find the diamonds that we need for this. It's very beautiful though. I really like it. It's turned out really well. Really nice. I think I want to do some more of these in the future. As I mentioned before, this was my first one. You see, it's pretty big. I mean, you know, I have the sky up here, and then you have the beach down here, and maybe some of this, like this back here, is ocean. You know, so it turned out really, really, really nice. So I want to do this again. Maybe not right away, but I do want to do it. So here we have 950, and I put a 1 on there because for some of these I had so many diamonds, I had to put them in more than one container. So let's open this up. And I'm just going to pour them in here. And I think I want to get a few more. So let me look in my other container and see if I have any more. Oh, yeah, we do. 950. We have 2 and 3. So we can get some of these out. I think that'll be enough for now. We're obviously not going to finish it, but we'll make a little progress. So I'll put my little container away, and you just kind of shake it. Now these diamonds kind of have two sides. There's one side that's flat, and another side that's kind of multifaceted. And it's kind of sparkly, like a diamond. That's why they call it diamonds. But it's actually just little pieces of, I guess it's like a plastic or a resin or something. One cool thing I noticed is this canvas, and it's an actual, like a piece of canvas. It's not paper. It's some sort of nylon canvas stuff. It feels significantly heavier now with all these diamonds on here. So I'm doing this for my mom as a Christmas present, and I'm going to have this framed once I'm done. And I think I'll finish long before Christmas, so I'll have plenty of time to get that done. Okay, now we're going to get to work. I'm going to turn this light back on, so the light's going to adjust again. And that way, let me turn it down just a tad. There. And that really helps us focus and see the symbols in these little squares. And I know it's going to be very hard for you to see because, you know, you're farther away than I am. But I have my glasses on so I can actually see them. So you shake these out, and you just take your little applicator, and you can, well, you can't see it, but I have one on there, and then you just have to find the squares that have the corresponding symbol, the color that you're working with. And the pound signs are primarily down here. So right now I'm kind of working in this area. But you also want to remember to check these areas because there may be a few up here as well. And sometimes I will overlook a symbol and I have to come back and fill it in later. That's what happened up closer to the top up there. I missed a few while I was doing that particular color. So I have to go back and fill those in later. Okay. So we're down here and we're doing the pound sign symbols. There are quite a few. So the decision I had to make was one of the toughest decisions I've had to make in a while. It was a good position to be in, but still a very difficult decision for me, and I had a really hard time with it. As you know, I lost my job at the end of October. Well, as you know, most people will tell you to do if you lose your job, it's important, if you can, to network with people in your field. If you're interested in pursuing similar work, you know, just talk to people in your field that you know. They might be able to help you out. Well, I did that. And I got in touch with 2 different companies. Well, one of them got in touch with me. And they were interested in speaking with me about me possibly working with them. And I have been on 2 interviews with each company. And I got an offer from both companies on the same day. They both wanted to hire me, which was very, very exciting because I was very impressed with both companies and the people that I'll be working with. So then I was faced with a choice. Do you want to go with company A or company B? So what I do when I have a decision like this to make, and this works for me, maybe not everybody, but I sat down with a piece of paper and a pencil and I just made a list of pros and cons for company A and company B. And then I compared the two. And they came out dead even. It didn't really help me. And I did it again the next day. I had some new information to go on, and so I did it again. And it still didn't help. They still basically came out even. So I went back and forth on it. I didn't know what to do. And I was so stressed and frustrated over this. Although, again, I acknowledge that it is a wonderful problem to have. Certainly not one I expected to have less than 2 weeks after losing my job of 18 years. But there I was. So, my son was so funny. He said, just flip a coin, for heaven's sake. Just flip a coin. If you don't know, if you truly don't have a preference of one over the other, and you say that they're both equally appealing for their own reasons, then just flip a coin and decide that way. I said, I can't do that. That feels wrong. I don't know. It feels demeaning to the options or something. I don't know. It just felt disrespectful. I don't know. It seems trivial to solve such a problem that way, but it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of very important decisions in the course of human history have been decided in a way similar to that we may not know about. But I said, no, I can't just flip a coin. No, I can't do that. So what I decided to do was come in here and sit down with my Paint with Diamonds project and work and work and work. And that is how I ended up with all this whole thing almost completely done. Sitting here listening to music and mulling over my two choices. So finally today, this afternoon, I finally made a choice. Now, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, so I have no way of knowing if it's the better choice or not. But I knew I had to make a choice. I had to decide something. I didn't want to keep both companies waiting forever. So, I like it when they snap in like that. So I made a choice, and then the second hard part, after making the choices, I would have to call people I had to call someone from company A and someone from company B because they were waiting to hear from me. I told them I would probably make the decision over the weekend, and I would like to let them know as soon as possible so they wouldn't have to keep waiting. So they actually both gave me their cell phone numbers so I could contact them over the weekend. And I decided the best way to handle the phone calls. I've never been in a position like this before. I've never had to choose between two jobs. Usually I was just trying to get a job, and then when I got it, I was happy, and that was that. I decided to handle the more difficult call first. I decided to call the company that I did not choose, and I tell you, that was such a great group. The people that I would be working with, I got to meet them, and I was so impressed with them, and it really seems like a great team. And both interviews went so well, and it was so great, and I came away from there with a really good feeling. But I also had the same experience with company B, It's also a great team, and I had a great feeling from those interviews as well. I mean, it was unexpected. It's wonderful, but at the same time, it's terrible, if that makes any sense. It's not like I could look at one company and go, okay, yeah, I don't really, compared to this other company, this one just is not that great. Oh no, they were equally great. They were equally fantastic. So I decided to call the person from the company that I did not choose first, and I dreaded that call. I put it off for over an hour. I found every reason in the world to put that call off. You know, I cleaned out my car, I did some work around the house, I did some laundry, anything I could think of. And finally I just said, Mary, this is ridiculous. Just do it. Just rip that band-aid off. Go get the phone, make the call. It won't take you 5 minutes. Just go do it, and then it'll be over. So I called, and I could hear the disappointment in this person's voice. And I'm going to tell you now, I almost cried. I felt heartbroken. I'm telling you, it was, I think this person was very sure I was going to go with them. And I tell you, it was close. And maybe going with them was the better choice. But you really have no way of knowing that. Sometimes you just have to go with your instincts. But that didn't help any either, because my instincts were telling me that either one would be a good choice. It wasn't very helpful at all. And normally my instincts will tell me what to decide, but here my instincts were going, yeah, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I got nothing for you. Flip a coin, like your son said. So, I felt really bad. I really did. I felt terrible. But here's the cool part. I didn't know how to say this without it sounding lame somehow, but I kind of had it worded before I made the call, but then it all went out the window when I actually started talking. I thought, I wanted to tell this person that I would love it if they would hold on to my resume, and I would love to work with them in the future. And I tried to say that, but it came out as this garbled, awkward sounding something or other. I don't know, it just didn't sound like I thought it would. It didn't come out right. But he said, look, you know, if things don't work out, give me a call and we'll see where we are. We would still love to work with you in the future. And that made it even harder to not cry. I know that sounds weird. That made it even harder. Because I was so grateful, you know. So I thanked this person like 20 times. I'm going, Mary, shut up. Just stop. You're repeating yourself. Stop it. And we ended on a good note. This person did tell me they were very disappointed, was looking forward to working with me, but they respected my decision that, you know, you have to do what's right for you. And I did tell the person, you know, I agonized over this decision for 3 days, and I did. It's been on my mind all weekend. So then I got to make the more fun call, but that one wasn't as fun because all I got to do was leave a voicemail. So I guess I'll talk to the other person tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to be employed again. A lot sooner than I expected, which is awesome. It's really good. It's a load off my mind, I'll tell you. So I'm feeling pretty good. It's going to be a whole new world for me from what I'm used to, but sometimes I think a change is as good as a rest. I'd kind of gotten into a rut in my old job. I'm hoping this is a breath of fresh air for me. I think it will be. I'm looking forward to working with these folks. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for me. And they have a really cool office, I have to say. It was cool. I walked in like country comes to town. I was walking around looking and going like, wow, this place is awesome. I love your office. Which the firm where I worked before was really cool too. I mean, it's not like I've never seen a big nice office or anything, but I don't know. Sometimes I just become, I don't know how to describe it, but I find fascination in all kinds of things. I find fascinating aspects in things. Even if I've seen a nice office before, if I see another one that's nice, it still makes me go, wow, that's cool. This place is great. Definitely not a place I'd mind working. So, but I want to say I felt the same way about the other place. I said the same thing there. They had the coolest tapestry hanging in their waiting room, little reception area. Oh, it was cool. I wanted to take it home with me. I meant to ask about it because it was very unique. I wondered what the story was behind it, but I forgot to ask. Anyway, we're going to give it a go. We'll see how it goes with this other place. And I really hope that there are no hard feelings with the other group. Because I've never been one to believe that things happen for a reason. I really just don't. I know a lot of people do. I've never really believed in that. But I always get a feeling from this whole experience that I met those people for a reason. I felt that when I walked in for my first interview. It felt so deliberate. I don't even know what that means, but it felt like I was there for a specific reason, and I don't really know how to describe it. Maybe that's the clue that I should have taken that job. But I had a lot more factors to weigh than just that feeling, so. It was close, I tell you. I went back and forth on these two companies for 3 days, and I just could not decide. But it could very well be that I crossed paths with those folks for a reason. I can't imagine right now what it would be, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that somehow in my future they are going to be in my life. I don't really know why, but I think I'm going to see them again. Could be that I have to go work at this other company for a little while to learn some lesson or something. I don't know. But again, I've never been one to believe in fate or destiny or anything, but it was a very distinct feeling I got when I went to that company I didn't choose when I went to that first interview. It's a very distinct feeling. It's very interesting. So, I guess we'll see. I don't know yet when I'm going to start. We haven't talked about that yet. Probably within a week. Of course, there will be a training period. I'll have stuff I have to learn. But the terms and, everything, all the details were very good. I was very pleased with their offer, which, by the way, was identical to the other firm, so I couldn't even go by that. The pay and the benefits and everything were exactly the same. That was wild. I mean, I don't know what the odds are of that. But I think they were exactly the same. Or if there was a difference, it was some trivial thing. So I couldn't even use that to judge, which way to go. So that's what's been going on around here this weekend. I do feel a sense of relief now that I've made the decision. So, right or wrong, it's done. You can see down here how the little things start to break apart, like they're closer together here. Then they just kind of break apart, and you have different colors mixed in with them. You can't really see what it's going to look like when you're working on it at this level, when you're down here looking at individual squares. But it's always so cool when you stop and you back up and you look at it, like looking at the big picture. Sometimes the diamonds try to pop out. I'm pushing one back down. I'm going to show it to you again here in just a minute. Let's put in a few more of these first. Oh, I had my first lesson in how to play Fortnite today, too. That was interesting. I kept getting shot. I got really good at jumping. It didn't help me, though. It was fun. Oops. I had one and I dropped it. And that's about all I did. It's been a pretty quiet day. We haven't done a whole lot. Sitting here working on this and mulling over my options for employment. Came up with some ideas for some videos. They just pop into my head at weird times. And I'll just have to find time to do them. Okay, let's stop right there. Now I'm going to turn this light back off, and I'm going to see if I can hold this where you can see it, because it's really cool. Just ignore this part down here that we haven't finished. So I'm going to turn this off, and the light will adjust. So you see, we essentially just have this little corner, a little area here that's not done. Up here at the top, you can see the sky with some clouds there. These are all individual pieces. I love how sparkly it is. And you have this big, beautiful starfish. Another little one right down here. Seashell. And then you're going to have another one here. And here. So I'm hoping that I'll get this done pretty soon so I can go ahead and get it framed. It's kind of an odd size, so I don't think I could just run out and buy a frame for it. I think I'm actually going to have it framed, which is fine. I don't mind. My mom's really hard to shop for Christmas, so I don't mind doing that for her. It's something that she might really like. So, there we have it. Nice little picture. And you can kind of, well, you can't see, but I can see that sometimes the individual diamonds try to pop out. And you just can take like your fingernail or the applicator, it's a little tool, and you just push them back down. There. It's very beautiful. Looks exactly like the little preview picture I saw when I ordered it online. So I definitely want to do some more of these in the future, and I've really enjoyed it. when I show you all the presents, when we do the present show and tell for before Christmas, I will have it framed before then, and I will show it to you at that time. So, thank you so much for coming and listening to me and taking a look at my paint with diamonds picture and filling in a little bit of it down here, this part. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you again really soon.